Okay, here I am, getting ready to edit. This is the first. If you clicked on this video, oh, let me get this out of the way. There we are. If you clicked on this video, then this was a live stream, but feel free to join the next one, and just decided to try this as a means of editing and maybe gaining more of an audience or growing a community, whatever. But I do know that this exposes my work um, to the general public, which I'm well aware of. I get it, but I'm not too worried about it right now. So, um, guess let's get into it. And please, no backseat editors. I'm sure everyone's gonna have a different opinion on how I edit things, but I'm just kind of here to do my thing. And if you want to chat, um, I just need you to subscribe, and then within 5 minutes you'll be able to chat. However, since I'm editing, I'm probably not going to see a whole lot of questions or comments, so just keep that in mind. Are you snickering over there? Okay. I work with my wife. All right. Chapter 27, Cherokee. Mija preoccupied, fingers held. Mija preoccupied, fingers held the King Thurber's temple. Marking in June tended to Gowron's wound. None of them possessed great skill with magic to heal flesh. It was a skill largely executed by the likes of most unkind, greatly practiced healers. Possessed a great skill with magic to heal flesh. Skill largely executed. Nope. Skill largely executed doesn't sound right. Reserved. The likes of most unkind and greatly practiced healers. Mage's services to the king took a much greater amount of time to complete. Mage's services to the king took a much greater amount of time to complete. Oh. Oh. Man alive, I write some of this stuff and I just have no idea where I was going with it at first. Mage's services to the king took a much greater amount of time to complete, as the fit after his bout of consciousness was strong. The emergence from the sickness that plagued his mind. Excuse me. Efforts took a great deal of time to complete, as a fit came after his bout of consciousness, especially strong. Taken too much to emerge. It had taken too much to emerge from the sickness that plagued his mind. Taken too much to emerge from the sickness that plagued his mind. sickness of plague his mind. No, just leave it. That takes too much. Mage also balked at the king's command that Atherum should be placed in Jessic's service. Yeah. It's finished, Mija. King's command that Atherum should be placed in Jessic's service. Made her. Once finished, Mija balked at the king's command that Atherum should be placed in Jessic's service. She made her disapproval. Adamantly known? Is that right? She made her disapproval adamantly known. Jessic agreed. He had no intention of having someone in the service. No intention to have someone in his service. Nor did he hold desire for such a thing. Justice Kale's time as a paladin was not something he wished. Justice Kale's time as a paladin was not something he had wished. He once again felt encumbered by another forced into his company. In the end, Mija insisted it be so simply because the king commanded it. The loyalty and commitment of those in King Theverus' service astounded him. Where one might feel the need to take command or defy their king's orders due to his ailment, Jessic saw only obedience and trust, tempted as he was to believe it to be a blind obedience. He knew better. King Theverus showed himself to be reliable and true in the face of overwhelming circumstances. He wondered if Atherum, when the time came to relay the king's command, would require convincing. Once Gower had been bandaged to cover what was left of the wound, he quickly retrieved his things and strapped his sword across his back. When he approached Jessic with Galrod and immediately began translating the signs. He says you gotta move fast. Light is approaching, and it's best not to wait until the next eve. Follow me closely. Millie. Light's approaching. Done, Millie trudged back to the bedroll. On the floor, she had claimed for herself and quickly fell back asleep. Jessic nodded to a large man and followed him toward the tunnel entrance. Before he climbed into it, he heard Mija's voice call from behind. That should probably be a tag, actually. Before he climbed into it, he heard Mija's voice call from behind. Make haste, champion, and serve your king well. Without looking back, Jessic nodded and followed after Galrod. Indeed, they moved quickly through the city. Jessic trailed at Galrod's heels, keeping pace with him as he weaved through the darkened city streets. The light of the sun had not yet begun to show in the eastern sky, the dark black behind the stars. Indeed, they moved quickly through the city. Jessic trailed at Galrod's heels, keeping pace with him as he weaved through the city streets. The light of the sun had not yet begun to show in the eastern sky. Yet the dark black behind the stars brightened into a deep inky blue. They had little time to wield the cover of night to its fullest extent before secrecy left them. They arrived at the beginning of their destination without incident. Soon, just outside. What did I see? I gotta go back. I don't remember where that was supposed to be. Oh. Oh my gosh, what was it? Oh, okay. Quiet, capable need. Blah blah blah. Oh, here we go. Oh shoot, I don't think I ever said where they started. Okay. Well. Okay. Entrance lane just outside the castle walls. Well, I guess I say it right there. Idiot. Soon they would be below ground. Let's see. Soon they would make there. Soon they would. No. Soon they would be below ground. That's a little passive, but it's okay. The entrance lay just outside the castle walls through a sewer drain that emptied. Entrance lay just outside the castle walls. Entrance lay just outside the castle walls. Still Not sure what I meant here. Soon they would be below ground. The entrance lay just outside the castle walls through a sewer drain that emptied out into the Croatius River. Sitting atop the stone ledge just above the drain, Galrod reached down and gripped the iron bars blocking their entry. With a great heave, bent them until one side. Bent them so that one side of the drain lay open enough for them to slide through. Okay, the entrance lay just outside the castle walls. Oh, okay. Man alive. Galrod reached down and grabbed the iron bars blocking their entry. Soon they would be below ground. The entrance lay just outside the castle walls. Walls. Near the rivers. Entrance lay just outside the castle walls near the rivers. Channel. The river. It's near the river channel. So just outside the castle walls near the river channel. This whole thing didn't make sense. I think I remember what I was going for, but now I've got to change this because otherwise, if I don't know what it's talking about, how can I expect anybody else to? The entrance lay just outside the castle walls near the river channel. Partway down into the river channel. Top a stone ledge. Stopping at a stone ledge. A sewer drain emptying out into the Croatius River. Sewer drain emptying out into the Croatius River. Stopping at a stone ledge, a sewer drain emptying out into the Croatius River. Sat just below them. Drain sat just below. Stone ledge, a sewer drain. The barred sewer drain sat just below them. On a sheer wall emptying out into the Croatius River. Sitting atop the stone ledge just above the drain, Sitting atop the stone ledge. Oh yeah. Melt the ledge. Be a very uncomfortable position though. Lay down on his stomach and reached the edge, then gripped the iron bars, blocking their entry. With a great heave, he bent them so that one side of the drain lay open enough for them to slide through. Soon they would be below ground. The entrance lay just outside the castle walls, partway down into the river channel, stopping at the stone ledge. At a stone ledge, a barred sewer drain sat just below them on a sheer wall, emptying out into the courageous river. Garrod lay down on his stomach and reached over the edge, then gripped the iron bars blocking their entry. With a great heave, he bent them so that one side of the drain lay open enough for them to slide through. Jessic stared at the man, bewildered by his strength. Garrod smiled and flexed an arm, the muscles bulging in tightly wound cords. Weaponsmithing? Asked Jessic. Ben replied with a wink. I would imagine so. They climbed down and slid into through the opening in the bars into the tunnel. Taking multiple twists and turns through the labyrinth, they eventually emerged onto a ledge of rock. The sound of rushing water loud in his hearing. Some distance away in the carved bed of the river, he could see emerge onto the ledge of the rocks. Through the opening in the bars and into the tunnel. Eventually emerged onto a ledge of rock. The sound of rushing water loud in his hearing. Downstream. In the carved bed of the river, he could see where they first entered. This opening was a slight cleft in the rock that would be indiscernible from any vantage point. A constant spray of drops showered the rock ledge inside where they stood looking out over the white foam of the roiling courageous river, running just below them. Up above, Zerval's foundation stretched high above the citadel, before the citadels even began. Zerval's foundation stretched high. Rock foundations stretched high above, before the citadels, before the towering citadels even began. Gaurod pointed slightly upward across the river. Jessica nearly missed another subtle fold in the rock where it appeared. Gaurod pointed slightly upward across the river. Jessica nearly missed another subtle fold in the rock where it appeared to be the entrance of the tunnels below Martin had symbol. Gaurod pointed slightly upward and across the river. There, another subtle fold in the rock. Another subtle fold in the rock. That's not right. Discreetly. Did I spell that right? Well. There, another subtle fold in the rock sat discreetly as an entrance to the tunnels below Marwoodhead Citadel. Jessica nodded. Yes, I see. Gaurod then turned to Jessica and motioned that he would be going back. With a nod, Jessica crouched. With another nod, Jessica crouched, ready to leap to the other side when a firm hand pushed against his shoulder. Caught his shoulder. He turned. Gaurod was frowning and shaking his head. What, you do not think I can make it? He called above the noise of the rushing river. Gaurod shrugged and slid his foot against the rock. He understood. While he knew he could make the distance, the slick stone made for remarkably unstable footing. Should he slip and miss the mark, he would fall into the river and spend too great a time trying to break free from the water and lose what little night remained. Gaurod retrieved a coil of rope from his pack. He uncoiled it and twirled the hook attached to the end. Hurling it across the river. It latched perfectly on a bar anchored in the rock above the entrance he had pointed out, then handed Jessica the rope. Jessica nodded, gauging the distance and height. Sprung forward. Using his incredible strength to pull himself higher. On the rope as he swung across the river's gap. His feet landed. And he pulled himself closer to the entrance. Lean in and pull himself closer to the entrance. A sharp whistle came from across the river. Galrod gestured toward the rope, so he flung the hook free from the bar and tossed it back to the weaponsmith. Galrod had a good hold on it. Jessic tossed the remainder of the rope as far as it would go, Galrod reeling it in before it had a chance to submerge into the water. Before the river had a chance. Pull. Reeling it in before it had a chance to pull it away. Then with a quick wave, Galron disappeared back through the opening. Then with a quick wave, Galron disappeared back through the opening. Disappeared behind the subtle cleft in the rock. Is that how I described it? Weaponsmithing. Mm-hmm. Before they left, Galrod had drawn a crude map of the tunnels beneath the Marmoset Citadel that showed Jessica how to enter it, then climbed to reach the Heiserval monument. Before they left, Galrod had drawn a crude map of the tunnels beneath the Marmoset Citadel. So Jessica could find his way into it. Where he would then climb the citadel to reach the Heiserval monument. Before they left, Galron had drawn a crude map of the tunnels beneath the Marmoset Citadel so Jessica could find his way into it. No, that needs to be 2 sentences, something like that. Before they left, Galrod had drawn a crude map of the tunnels beneath the Marmoset Citadel so Jessica could find his way into it. There, he would then climb the citadel to reach the Heiserval monument. His memory served him well, and he could see the drawn map plainly in his mind. Even so, as he forged his way ahead, the constant turns and sloping paths began to affect his memory of the labyrinth. Jessica stopped. He had come to a dead end. Turning around, I quickly found the left turn he missed, then followed in haste. 2 more rights, splashing through the stagnant water, he found the ladder. From there, he found the ladder. At the top, there lay nothing to indicate an entrance. At the top, there lay nothing to indicate an entrance. The scout rod instructed him, however, a loose slab. A loose slab. The scout revealed in their planing the ceiling at the top of the ladder was a loose slab. That could be. The scout revealed in their planing the ceiling at the top of the ladder was a loose slab. That could be maneuvered aside to grant entry inside the citadel. Turning around, he quickly found the left turn he missed, then followed in haste. 2 more rights, splashing through the stagnant water, he found the ladder. He looked up. At the top, there lay nothing to indicate an entrance, but a scout rod revealed in their planing the ceiling. At the top of the ladder was a loose slab that could be maneuvered aside to grant entry. That could be opened. Nothing in this scout revealed in their planning the ceiling at the top of the ladder was a loose slab that could be opened to grant entry inside the citadel. Scout revealed in their planning the ceiling at the top of the ladder was a loose slab that could be opened to grant entry inside the citadel. The foul stench of the drain water had soaked into his armor, and even as he moved quietly up the ladder, it floated up to meet. Do I still have it? Yep. Okay. From here, he would progress in silence. Needed to progress in silence. The foul stench of drained water had soaked in his armor, and even as he moved quietly up the ladder, it floated up to meet him. As with his other oddly intact senses, he was able to recognize the smell as putrid, but it remained. Detached to any emotion. from. As with his otherly intact senses, he recognized the smell as putrid, but it remained detached from any emotion. He had no reaction to the odor. Even so, placing himself in others' company meant he would not leave it be. Eventually, he would need to find fresh water in which to submerge himself. Short of removing his armor, which was out of the question, rinsing the Knight of Blacklaw armor in clean water would have to do. And clean water while wearing it would have to do. At the top of the wooden rungs, Jessica searched in the darkness for some means of opening the slab, but found no latch or hook. He pushed. A large square lifted out of its seated fixture. It would have been quite heavy for any normal man, but he shifted and slid it to the side with relative ease. Climbing free, he moved the large square of stone back into place so it seated perfectly with no visible distinction of the secret opening. Square of stone back into place. Seated perfectly. Leaving no free, move the large square of stone back into place so it seated perfectly. That's not right either. Climbing free, you move large square of stone back into place so it's seated on the floor perfectly, leaving the secret. Climbing free, you move the large square of stone back into place so it's seated on the floor perfectly, leaving the secret opening intact. The secret opening. Free, you move the large square of stone back into place so it's seated back. No. Oh, why is this sentence bothering me? Climbing free, he moved the large square of stone back into place. Free, he moved the large square of stone back into place. So once again, Climbing free, he moved the large square of stone back into place so it once again became an indiscriminate part of the floor, leaving the secret entrance intact. Okay, oof, good gravy. He stayed low and found himself in a dark and dusty room. He was in a corner opposite another, similar in appearance, though the other was shallow. Found himself in the corner of a dark and dusty room. No. In the back corner of a dark and dusty room. That's just so why did I do that? Where he stood, it appeared as any where he stood, it appeared as any nook in a cellar, except the wall. Where he stood, it appeared as any nook in a cellar, except that the wall, except here, except here, smaller floor space, making it easier to remain unseen by anyone inhabiting the cellar at the time. That just doesn't look right. I guess it is, but surprisingly, or perhaps not, given the entrance's importance, the corner had been kept clean and cleared of storage items, whereas the opposite corner held a handful of sacks of what appeared to be grains, as well as barrels and crates. Jessic crept a few steps forward to see around a large wooden structure at his right. He emerged at the far end. Crept a few steps forward to see around a large wooden structure at his right. At the other end of the room. Nope. Hang on, what did I say? Small doorway. Sat at the other end of the room. Above him and lining the walls were massive casks resting on their sides, taps at the bottom of only one or two. Jessic laughed to himself. At least it would be far too early in the morning for anyone to be drinking, giving him better chances. Better chance at remaining secret from anyone stumbling down here. Or whatever the casks held. Stalking the doorway, he listened for the sound of footsteps. He chanced to glimpse around the corner. And backed away. Nothing. To his right, a small hallway with other similar rooms branching from it led to it. To his right, a small hallway with similar rooms branching from it led to a staircase. Backed away. Nothing. To his right, a small hallway with similar rooms branching from it led to a large circular To his right, a small hallway with similar rooms branching from it. I feel like that's an interruption. With similar rooms branching from it, led to a large circular area with a staircase. To the left lay only a dead end. He followed the stairs and soon found himself staring into an open chamber with a massive staircase winding up. Oh. I hate it when I do that. That's right, a small hallway with some rooms branching from it led to a small staircase. To the left lay only a dead end. He followed the stairs. Oh, let's see. He crept out and followed the stairs to the right, and soon found himself staring into an open chamber with massive staircase winding open circular chamber with a massive staircase winding up along the wall, nearly as far up as he could see from his position, hiding behind the large base of a stone pillar. He did not yet move into the large chamber. I feel like I need to say that he was hiding earlier. Stairs to the right and soon found it. Induct behind the large base of a stone pillar. Jessica found himself staring into an open circular chamber with a massive staircase winding up along the wall, and as far as he could see from his position. He did not yet move into the large chamber as several guards patrolled. Oops. Cannot go charging in. Chamber, and several guards patrolled the area, and several more either ascended the stairs or made their way down them. Jessica cursed his luck. It would be impossible to slip to the Citadel's peak unnoticed, and he thought better of slashing his way up. He could surrender himself and hope they did not use magical bonds, which would make this confrontation with King Deathfarrell more difficult. Thinking perhaps he could simply request an audience with the king, he decided it would raise far too much suspicion. Perhaps he could simply request an audience with the king. But it would raise far too much suspicion, despite the fact that it was possible. Despite the possibility. Too many words. Possibility. Despite the possibility that no soldier here would know who he was, his knowledge of the king's whereabouts during this time of trouble would give him away. Then he remembered the parchment given to him by Mija, on which King Thevers placed his command to end King Deathfair. Though he had not said as much, the seal King Thevers placed upon the parchment was surely unique to the king alone. It would have to do. Alright, and that's where I'm going to end it today. And I will probably do more of these. Because I know I'm not going to get a ton of people right away, but hopefully. Hopefully. Alright, I'm out.